Yo, this is how we made a song out of the PS5 boot up sound. Step 1, boot up your PS5. Step 2, guitar riff. Step 3, drums. And finally, step 4, find yourself a wolf.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me? Loud and clear.
Don't get cocky, it's gonna get rocky. Nothing but a carbon copy, ayy. Rocking the boat cause you've been salty. Don't need a cannon, we have 4 barbies. Thinking of me from the jump over my dead body. Crash like bandicoot, bitch, you wanna see me faulty. Say you was zeus, but I don't see you moving mountains. Stuck in your youth, have you been drinking from the fountain? Always pick a fight, want that trident. Don't think you can let go of your vices. That's the case for young Morales, ayy. I'm a circle and we ride like PS5. Hit the X and we strike lightning from our eyes. Watch us drop the line and prove you switching sides. Out of chances, go ahead, put that car in drive, ayy, ayy. Snake first, that's a lot, pick a venue. I got that magic, hold the voodoo. Started out small in my 2K shoes. Boost mode, hit me now, I'm fighting off goons. You should take it down a notch, always trying to blow the conch. Words on paper, real like data. Bet on myself and I'm winning every wager, ayy. Say you was zeus, but I don't see you moving mountains. Stuck in your youth, have you been drinking from the fountain? Always pick a fight, want that trident. Don't think you can let go of your vices. That's the case for young Morales, ayy. Come on, circle and we ride like PS5. Hit the X and we strike lightning from our eyes. Watch us draw the line and prove you switching sides. Out of chances, go ahead, put that car in drive, ayy, ayy.
Come on, circle, and we ride like PS5. Hit that X, and we strike lightning from our eyes. Yes.
Prove you switching sides. Out of chances, go ahead, put that car in drive, ayy, ayy. Drive, put it in drive, yeah. Put it in drive, put it in drive, yeah.
Why are you in front of a green screen?
Because I just finished filming for young Morales.
This one took a minute.
Yeah, I did. But it was nice because it gave us time to like really work on the details of everything. And it was just like a fun challenge for me because I'm obviously not a expert gamer. So like being able to relate that kind of stuff to everyday life, it was just so fun. I loved it.
I'll never forget, it was Easter and my mom surprised me and my brother with the original PlayStation 1 that of course turned into Crash Bandicoot, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, Parappa the Rapper, Tony Hawk, and just so many hours and hours and hours and hours and all-nighters just spent playing the original PlayStation. Collaboration in general with the pandemic is always challenging, but in particular music is just an extra level of challenging. So I sent Julia the Logic file and some very, very basic just lyrical ideas and kind of things that hit home to me that I knew I wanted to make its way into the track. And to watch her transform that into this coherent, cohesive kind of piece of music is incredible.
Don't get cocky, it's gonna get rocky. Nothing but a carbon copy, ayy. Rocking the boat cause you've been salty. Don't need a camera, we have 4 barbies. Thinking of me from the jump over my dead body. Crash like bandicoot, bitches wanna see me faulty. Think he is zeus, but I don't see him moving mountains. Stuck in your youth, have you been drinking from the fountain? Always pick a fight, want the trident. Don't think you could let go of your vices. Not surprised, yeah. Come a circle and we ride like PS5. Macro lightning in disguise, you wouldn't catch me down.
It was really just one single chord and the boot up sound at that point, so she then added a second chord and then from there really just took it home in terms of just like bringing the final vocal arrangement and melodies together.
The hook took me a while to straighten out, but I'm so happy with how it came out now. And it's just like, I love doing references in my, day-to-day music. So being able to carry that into this, it made it so fun for me. I didn't want to say anything too obvious, So that's why I was trying to break it down, like the pieces of the controller. How can I apply this to me and my friends? Like that feeling of, you know, just being like a clique, like a tight-knit clique. And that's when I really liked the like lightning from our eyes, just trying to hone in that idea that it's more than myself. It's like a group of us. It's like, I got my Barbies, I got my crew, you know, we can do it ourselves, that kind of idea.
So when she was finally happy with that, she sent that back to me, and it was really those 2 chords, the entire vocal arrangement, the melodies, and a ton of background vocals, just stacks on stacks. So I'm by far more comfortable on guitar than anything else in terms of just kind of getting ideas out. So when we initially had the foundation of the track, it was really just the 2 chords, like I said. So it was more something like this. It stayed here. And then came back. And then really just kind of messing with the guitar. I think adding in the 3rd chord just really kind of brought everything together. Change coming up. New chord. And then back. And that kind of let me mess with stuff.
Snake vs. Ocelot, pick a venue. I got that magic, hold a voodoo. Started out small in my TUK shoes. Like that whole thing, because I used to wear TUK platforms. They were like really chunky goth things, and I wore them in college, and it just brought me back to that time in my life where, you know, things were small, but like we've progressed now, and I've done it, you know, on my own, essentially, like being able to build everything. And I just liked that reference of like the snake versus ocelot, just a kind of try me, you know, like let's fight, let's go, because I can win this.
So now vocals, lyrics, arrangement, melodies, chord changes, that was pretty much kind of just finished at that point. And I didn't want it to be just like an acoustic song or just guitar, so I think I probably burned the Logic session down to the ground and rebuilt it 3 or 4 times. I was super fortunate to work with the GOAT, Andrew Dawson. We kind of got it to a kind of level 2 skeleton, and then I knew if I wanted to get the sounds that were in my head out onto a screen, into a keyboard, I was gonna need help. So first I reached out to my buddy Blaze Johnson Jr., who you've seen on the channel. He is an absolute mad lad on vocals, but also kind of an equal mad lad on piano. So I just wanted kind of a fresh set of ears, a perspective, so I just kind of let him do his thing and jam on that.
Circle and we ride like PS5. Hit that X and we strike lightning from our eyes. Watch us draw the line and prove we're switching sides. Out of chances, go ahead, put that car in drive.
I then reached out to Austin Hull, who I've been a fan of and watched for over the past year. Just super great guy, but also a really talented producer. So if you want to get into that world, definitely check his channel out. It just kind of, it was almost like the, you know, those Russian dolls where it's like you open one and then another. It was almost the reverse of that, where every step was a bigger iteration of the track.
We could also do something like this. I'm just kind of giving you different ideas and we can kind of pick and piece from everything. And then now that you sent those references over, I can kind of dive in and do some stuff to those. But we could also do, instead of doing that big kind of drawn out bass pad in the verse, if you would rather do that in the chorus, so we have like this big explosive chorus, we could do some kind of like 808s like this in the verse.
Have you been drinking from the fountain? Always pick a fight with that trident. Don't think you can let go of your vices, that's the case for you.
something to just give us a little bit more movement in the verse. Let me know.
The collaboration process with Austin was super streamlined. It was really kind of relieving just seeing him bring out all those ideas I had in my head to like real life production. I think there was a turning point on the track where I was really happy with it, but it was sounding kind of more on the darkish side, like more dark than I wanted to. So he has a track, Two-Sided Mind, that's a little more bright, bouncy, and there was a guitar pluck that I referenced to see if he can include that into the track, and I think that really just kind of brought everything together. Yo, so this is completely random, maybe just because I listened to this track again, but I'm not sure if there's a way to bridge what we have now and some sort of kind of plucky thing like you have here, because this is very up pop, like something I would use on my tech stuff, very lute. And so I wonder if there's a way to blend, you know, the darkness of what we have now, which is almost like game score with a little bit of like up pop pluck.
What's kind of like just, you know, a short little recap of what your process is like when you're kind of sitting down with a song, figuring out the team, and then kind of figuring out how you want to delegate, and then at the end, just kind of figuring out how to wrap up everybody's kind of different styles to where it still feels like it's something that you want to release for yourself personally.
Yeah, I think it starts just simplified just from the love of music and knowing limitations versus reality. And I feel like my brain is definitely further advanced than my body and hands and what I can bring out. So, you know, part of just getting into music was getting back on the music side and working hard at guitar and just trying to be able to be in the same room as these guys. You know, it's like, for me, I've always enjoyed working with, you know, the most talented people I can hang out with just because it makes everything better. And I think it's also just, I like the vibe here because on multiple levels, there's not a sense of ego where it's, you know, even from the Morgan Freeman part. I think that's why I gravitate a lot to Lil Dicky, and just having some humility and not being afraid to have a little bit of parody in there and not try to be that everything is so serious. So just knowing like, hey, you have this idea in your head, but the reality is you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. So let me find out, like, let me reach out to the talented people I've hung out with and know and put together. And I think that's the whole goal of the music product. Jonathan and Friends is just like, hey, let's hang out with talented people and make cool shit, you know?
I was just thinking, I was like, it's so funny, like the name Jonathan and Friends and this whole project, and kind of like his first pitch to me was all about teamwork and like delegating, and somebody that is releasing this is like the main artist and writer and producer is not afraid to then chuck out, you know, maybe 80% of the kind of technical production work where it comes to like sound design. And I like, honestly, that you were so hands-on. Like, you know, I show in the Make Pop music video like a couple of the different iterations, but it wasn't like we really lost a bunch of time, because on all of those there was only like a couple things that we may have not kept from one version to the next.
Yo, just want to say thank you. It's amazing. And yeah, you really helped pull everything out of my head and even more. So yeah, I think we're ready to take it to stems for the final. But seriously, thank you, man. It's great.
Now playing PS5 by Jonathan and Friends, featuring Wolf.
So Morgan Freeman, how that happened, it was actually part of a project for this AirPods Max video that I haven't released yet, but I got to link up with the amazingly talented Josh Robert Thompson, who, no joke, legitimately does the ADR and voiceover work for the Morgan Freeman. So we initially messed with Morgan kind of just introducing the track, but as the track kind of developed and there ended up being a guitar solo, you know, like how many times in life do you get to have Morgan Freeman intro a guitar solo? Probably never. So what I did was kind of just like destroy that middle bridge section, bring in some of the original keys that Blaze sent me, threw that there, kind of just threw some high cut and some effects over that to make it sound really big and kind of just like atmospheric. The guitar solo, or what I would call, you know, more of a riff, because I'm by no means a lead player at all, that actually started as a jam on the acoustic guitar.
says go ahead, put that car in drive and drive and drive. Stay close, that's a lot bigger than you.
So while I initially came up with that on acoustic guitar, I felt like it would translate better on electric. It was a little more of that kind of nostalgic throwback feel. I ended up just automating some wah on it just to pay some kind of homage to Kirk Hammett, just bringing back all those childhood feelings. As far as the final steps and process goes, Austin got all of his stems over to me, which I then brought into Logic. There was probably around 96, I think, which I then brought back down to around 80, just kind of cleaning things up that really didn't need to be there, doing the Morgan section. And then from there, I got his rough mix, which sounded amazing. Like if that was it, I would have been completely happy and content. I got that to a reference mix that I was happy with to give to Andrew, and then got those 80 something tracks and then condensed that down to about 12 or 15 stems, which then Andrew mixed and took it home and just did a phenomenal job. Like I could not be happier with the end results.
And I just wanted to like we talked about, like enhance the stuff that was already there, give, a little more snap, a little more like excitement, and work with the dynamic range that we had left, to get it nice and loud, but still get it popping. I cut a few little, I didn't do a whole lot of EQ, a little bit of multi-band compression to kind of make room for some other stuff. But other than that, it's kind of your levels and your vibes. I did, boost a couple things like the guitar, things coming back in and some other spots just to kind of keep that excitement level up. Just made some dramatic moves. But other than that, it's pretty much your levels, which is awesome.
It is, of course, on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. So if you guys want to stream it, do us that favor. I got the link down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, and you are feeling like being awesome, make sure you guys go crash Bandicoot on that like button. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.
From our eyes.